Hello and welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports and another edition of what is in our stand today. Before I go any further, please, if you would, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it amongst your friends once you've seen the content, and please hit that notification bell so that when we post a video, you will get a notification. You've heard the spiel many times before, but might as well provide it anew. Now, here's the thing. I'm trying to grow this channel up to 1,000 subscribers, so I'd really love if you would subscribe and get your friends to subscribe as well. So today we have a bike that has a stuck front shifter. And this is the Dura-Ace 7800 series of shifter lever, and this is part of this pandemic type of bikes that have been coming into the shops, and probably in your local shops you've got 2, 3, 4 week wait to get bikes repaired. And what's happening is, a lot of bikes that have just been sitting around for many years are finally being brought out and being ridden. Now in San Diego at the time of this filming, it's March 9th, and so or maybe March 10th, I'm sorry, but anyway, it's either the 9th or the 10th. But what's important is that it's early part of March, spring is coming, people are getting excited, and they're getting their bikes out. So this particular bike, when you hit the front shifter to the big chainring, it'll shift, no problem. But then notice how it just doesn't want to shift down to the small chainring. And so there it goes, right? So, that takes multiple attempts, and then, the customer's frustrated with that, of course. So that works for the big chainring, but so that one only took 2 attempts, right? 3, 4, and then it goes, right? So what we're going to try to do, and I've been pretty successful at doing this for bikes that have been sitting for a while, is I have been using some type of lube and then just a lot of shifting to get the shifter to free up. Now, one of the things about these 7800 shifters is that they're pretty much enclosed, and they're very hard to get access to any of the mechanism on the inside, which is a good thing if you're trying to keep elements from getting in, rain, dirt, sand, whatever. Those things are definitely bad for internal mechanisms, but it also makes it hard for you as a mechanic or as an end user to be able to get into the shifter, lubricate it from time to time, but something even worse can happen as well. So I have these shifters on my tandem because triple chain rings on a tandem, especially for the kind of stuff that we climb, 20% grades on our tandem, we need that triple chain ring. So we need this 7800 series shifter to operate that triple chainring. But one of the times that we were on a double, the right hand shifter for the rear, the cable snapped inside. And with this generation of shifters, you can't get into the shifter to get the cable end out. So basically that shifter was done, and we were on a 200 miler up in Northern California. It was a 17,000 foot 200 miler. So with the newer iterations, starting with the 9,000 Dura-Ace and following through on the 9100, they have an access panel, so you can remove this access panel, get in there, get all the metal pieces of the cable that have frayed or you know, broken off and they're in there. And then also, of course, the cable end. So that's a really nice thing that in the newer generations of the Dura-Ace shifters, and it carries down through Ultegra as well, you can get the cable end out, you can get the metal shard, the little metal pieces of the cable that have frayed inside there. Usually I use a magnet and try to pull as many of those little pieces out because it's going to bind up the mechanism. So what I'm going to try to do is, while we are filming this, I'm going to see if this 7800 front shifter will free up from its intermittent shifting by using a lube. So stand by while I grab the camera and film. So I don't think it matters too much what you use. I've got an old can of this stuff that I've been using quite with some pretty good results, but you know, I don't know that it matters all that much exactly which one you're using, but you just need to lubricate the mechanism. And this is a challenge because now you'll see what I mean. This is all closed and it almost seems like a sealed system, right? And the bike is upside down for a reason, so that we can lubricate inside here. But there's just no real access to this mechanism. And as I said, maybe that was by design because they wanted to keep the elements from getting inside. But what we're going to do now is we're going to shoot some lube inside here. Now this is a cleaner lube type of system, and we're just trying to get in there. And now we're going to try to operate that lever and see if that'll help a little bit. Sometimes it works right away, and then sometimes it doesn't. So we'll see if this will help. So now it seems to be working, and that didn't take much time at all. At the beginning of the video, I'm sure that you noticed that it was 4, 5, 6 attempts to get it to work. So now we're down to every other. So that's a good thing. You can hear it now working on just about every single So we want to make sure that we can get it to work, and it just seems like that is going to do it. And while keeping it upside down like this, because as I mentioned, this was pretty much a sealed type of system, then the lube is staying inside there until I flip the bike back the correct way, and then we can confirm by looking at the front derailleur that it is working. And of course the bike is upside down, so just try to imagine it right side up. So what we'll do now is we'll flip the bike back down in its correct orientation. The lube will start to drip out. We'll clean that up, and over the next day or so, when the customer is available, today is Wednesday, he says he'll be available Friday, the excess lube will drip out, and we'll just keep wiping it down. And when the customer picks the bike up on Friday, today being Wednesday, that should be enough time for all the excess lube to drip out. We'll wipe it down. We'll have a nice clean. We also have to wrap the bar tape and stuff, so we'll wait until most of that excess lube drips out, and then we'll have a nice, clean, operating front derailleur and shifter for the customer. Okay, thanks so much for tuning in. And as I mentioned before, please like, subscribe, and tell your friends about this channel as often as I can. Based on service workloads, I'll try to get a video posted up, but this has been a common problem now during the pandemic. All these old bikes that have been sitting around a long time with stuck shifters, road shifters, mountain bike shifters, all kinds of shifters, hybrid bikes, they've all been bikes that have been sitting 3, 4, 5 years or more. The shifters are stuck. And we can't get the inventory, so we have to do an overhaul service on the shifters, open them up. Mountain bike shifters are really nice because they have access panels that you can get in there and lubricate everything. But the road shifters are sometimes a little bit more difficult. But since you can't get the parts, you're going to have to do the service on the shifters and save yourself some money. All right, thank you so much for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.